This winter, HBO is going to release a documentary about Mel Brooks. And of course, you know Mel Brooks. You know the classics. You know Spaceballs. You know Robin Hood, the Man in Tights. You know the producers. You know Young Frankenstein. Many, many, many movies that were super important for us as kids. And even today, as contemporary, he's going to release a sequel to Spaceballs at 99 years old. This is a crazy career, but the movie I saw the most in Mel Brooks' filmography may not be the usual suspect you are expecting. So today, on Why You Should Watch or Rewatch, let's talk about Life Stinks. Yeah, Life Stinks. I know, the 1991 comedy from Mel Brooks was always on TV when I was a kid. It was in French, of course, here in Canada, but I don't know. I was always watching that movie on TV and it stuck with me. And when I grew up, I rewatched it a few times as an adult, and then I don't know, I just kind of forgot about it. And then the documentary was released by HBO, and then the sequel to Spaceballs. And when I thought to myself, what should I rewatch from Mel Brooks' filmography? Instinctively, I went back to Life Stinks. And you want to know why? It's because it's probably the more grounded movie from Mel Brooks, and it has this sweet spot of comedy but also human interest that makes the whole thing really, really heartwarming, and that's a surprise when you are watching a Mel Brooks movie. So long story short, Life Stinks. Mel Brooks plays a billionaire that has to live for a month in the streets of Los Angeles to win a bet. So he's very corrupt, very not likable at the beginning of the movie. Ends up living in a street, makes some friends, and learn the importance of having a meal every day, a roof over your head, friends, companionship, and human relations. It's pretty simple. It's very basic as human lessons, but it just works because Brooks brings in the right mixture of goofiness. There's a lot of goofy stuff in the movie, like the first 15 minutes and the last 15 minutes are pretty much your basic Mel Brooks goofiness with feet close-ups, building used as erect penis, trucks used as Godzilla proxy to have a fight on a construction site. Mel Brooks just pulls a few tricks that you are expecting from him if you saw the previous works, especially if you saw Robin Hood, Men in Tights. You know the type of joke Mel Brooks can produce. But the middle part of the movie where he lives on the street and he meets the character of Leslie Ann Warren, for example, and some friends along the way, Brooks doesn't really make any jokes. He plays very grounded. He plays fish out of water character in this environment, and the jokes come from the fact that he doesn't understand basic human knowledges like taking care of yourself, being aware of danger around you, and being aware that not everyone is there for your benefits. And those lessons that you learn as a child, mostly, he just go through them one by one on the streets and delivers this heartwarming performance that I was not expecting from Brooks, a purely comedic actor. And there's a few moments in the movie where you almost tear up. There's a character that dies on the street during the movie, and Brooks just discovered the brutality of dying alone on the street with no one that loves you or actively loves you on the roof, that no kids, no family. And it just struck him really, really hard right in the middle of the movie. And you can feel that this one is personal to Brooks. It's personal for him as a human being to share the importance of human decency. So he's able to make jokes on grander scales, like Spaceballs is a Star Wars parody, and there's spaceships and robots and everything. But this here, Life Stinks, it's a few character boiled down in a simple setup on the streets of Los Angeles, and it just works. And I really encourages you to go back to that movie specifically. Just enjoy the story, the simple part of the story where he meets people, he learns to appreciate people, and eventually falls in love with Leslie Ann Warren, who plays a very how can I say this? She's very protective of herself. She went through a divorce and she's on the street. And it's also a great awareness of how mental health can just slide the wrong way, even though you had your life all together, or so you think. And a few, I don't know, a few bad days along the way, and you can end up on the street having to reconsider everything and relearn everything. So, of course, Mel Brooks does this, and it's kind of goofy and it's not perfect, and a lot of jokes are falling flat. I'm not going to pretend that this is the funniest movie ever and it's a timeless classic and it's perfect. Far from it. I think it's very heavy handed, and Brooks, like, there's a clear position in the movie, and maybe you could have dialed it down a little bit, but at the core of it all, there's heart in it, and there's a lot of hidden emotions that I think are really interesting to discover. And yeah, I have a hard time expressing it because I rewatched the movie this week just to make this video, and I was not captivated by it. I was not like on the edge of my seat watching the movie and waiting for it to unfold. I was just touched, and it struck the nostalgia chord real hard for me because I saw this so many times. But I must admit, there's a musical number in the movie, and I was kind of drifting in and out of it. But the part where the older character dies and where they are just they facing adversity, the streets are flooded when they're in boxes and they have a tough time getting food. All of this compounded together, I don't know. It just feels right in the right, not right like you want to see this, but right like this is the right thing to show, the right thing to tell you. And these are human emotions in the simplest forms, and that's why I think you should rewatch or watch for the first time Life Stinks, especially if you saw some Mel Brooks movie and you thought to yourself, hey, he's a pretty funny guy, he's a really creative director, but he's also very human. And from what I've read in interviews and everything about Mel Brooks, everybody loves working with him. He's very, very well liked within the community. Proof being, he's still working at almost 100 years old, so he's not a persona non grata in Hollywood. He's very much respected and well liked, and this movie shows you where he's from, what's important to him, and why humans are in the center of everything he does, even though it's fart jokes and some stuff like that. So I really think Life Stinks is worth your time, and I hope you liked it as much as I do. I'm gonna keep this one on the shorter side. This is a fun movie, it's a fun rewatch. Go back in, dive back, go watch the Mel Brooks documentary, and wait for Spaceballs 2. I know I will, and I will probably talk about it on the channel when it's released. I don't know in what form, but I don't know. I'm kind of excited. Spaceball was a big part of my childhood, so Spaceballs 2, I'm in, and I hope you will too. So I will see you soon for another movie. Probably not Mel Brooks, but who knows? We will go back to him for sure in the future. Ciao!